Hey, it's good to see you. I am back in my bathroom again, and I have some nice lighting going on in here. I just came in here and I set up my little tripod so I don't have to hold my phone because it's like the ultimate lazy move, but I have two hands free, so it makes me happy. Happy Monday. I hope it's been a good day for you. It's been a very busy day for me. I had a morning exercise class, and then I had to go get my oil changed, and the cigarette lighter in my car stopped working a while ago, and I figured it was just a fuse, but I haven't bothered to, like, it's not that important. It's just annoying. Like, if I want to charge my phone in the car, the cigarette lighter doesn't work, but there's one actually inside the console and it was working. But while I was getting my oil changed, I just asked if they would, can you just check the fuse? And it was just a fuse. So they fixed that. It's just one of those little annoying things that's always kind of in the back of your mind, like, I need to get that fixed, and I'm proud of myself for remembering to do that. Like, that's a gold star for me. I remember to actually ask them about the fuse. Will you check that? It was a fuse, so it's working again. I had to do that. And then my older son had an eye doctor appointment, so I took him to that. And I found out something cool. If you don't have vision insurance, which I don't anymore, or dental insurance, if you have a Costco near you, now I don't know if this is true for every Costco, it may not be. But the Costco near me, I'm a member there, and I buy my glasses there. I get my older son's glasses there. My younger son doesn't wear glasses. He has 20/20 vision, and he is so freaking lucky. Um, but we get our glasses there, and when I went to get some glasses last time, one of the ladies working there said, well, have you thought about getting your eye exams done here? I said, no. And I kept forgetting there's a little, right on the building, in the building where Costco is, there's a little separate part of it. And it's for eye exams. There's an optometrist who has an office there. She works I think she works somewhere else in Greensboro certain days of the week, but she operates this office at Costco 3 days a week. They don't take insurance. It's cash or check only. I even remembered to bring my checkbook. I was so proud of myself because I don't carry my checkbook around. But I remember to take my checkbook because I don't ever have any cash. I certainly don't have enough to pay for an eye exam. But the good thing is they don't deal with insurance at all. It's a little bitty tiny office. It's adorable. Oh my Lord. It's about the size of this bathroom. It's a little snug in there. But the eye exams are only $85 flat. $85 for an eye exam with the prescription and everything if you need that. It's awesome. It's awesome. It was wonderful. She's booked out. I know she's booked out for quite a while because I heard the receptionist on the phone while I was there. It was so little. My son just went back there for his eye exam, and I just waited up front because there really isn't room for 3 people back there. So I just stayed up front. But yeah, got his prescription. Apparently his eyes have gotten a lot worse. He had his last eye exam, it was a little over 2 years ago. And because he was saying to me before I made the appointment, he said, I think I need new glasses. I'm getting to where stuff is looking fuzzy. Like I think these are not right for me anymore. So apparently his prescription has changed quite a bit in the last 2 years, give or take. So then we just popped over to Costco. He had on the sunglasses things because his pupils were still dilated. He knew exactly what he wanted. He said, I want the exact same glasses I have now, just, with the new prescription. His glasses, like the part that goes behind your ears, was starting to get a little worn out. And he said, can I just get a whole new pair of glasses? I said, sure. And we also so we ordered his glasses. It was very quick. We were in and out of there in like no time because we went right to it. Like, there are your glasses. They still have them. This is awesome. And I asked him, they also have a deal if you get glasses and sunglasses at the same time, you get $30 off. So I said, do you also want to get some sunglasses? Because for his job, he does a lot of driving, not so much this time of year, but I'm thinking like next year, he's going to be driving some with the sun in his eyes. So I said, well, let's get you some prescription sunglasses too. So for his glasses, brand new glasses and brand new sunglasses, it was just over $200. So we're talking less than $300 for everything, the eye exam, glasses, and sunglasses, like prescription sunglasses. I thought that was pretty damn great. So if you do have a Costco in your area, it might be, even if you don't have a membership, it might be worth it to get a membership to be able to take advantage of that. Of course, you could check first and see if they have an eye doctor and if they do the same kind of deal, like no insurance, cash or check only. It's way cheaper than getting it done at a regular place. And it was great. And the optometrist was really nice, very friendly, very helpful, answered all of his questions and everything. And so it was wonderful. So I've hurt my hand again. I don't know what it is. Every now and then, this wrist right here, it will just, and I'll wake up. I think it has something to do with the way I sleep sometimes. I think I'm sleeping on it funny, and then after that, to bend it too far one way or the other really hurts, like it's strained or something. Not sprained, but to put a lot of weight on it is kind of painful. Sometimes I can fix it though by doing push-ups or something, just do a few push-ups, and it seems to fix something. But I tried that yesterday and it didn't really seem to work, so it's still a little sore. I wanted to talk to you about happiness. I was thinking about happiness. I think about the weirdest things when I'm in the shower. I think about happiness. And happiness is hair that needs to be washed. And being grateful that you have hot water and shampoo. That's the way I look at it. Happiness to me, and this, I guess I'm gonna sound like this is another bumper sticker talk, I guess, where I just sound like a bumper sticker or a t-shirt. Happiness is within. It's in it. I feel like Harvest. I feel like it should be Harvest saying that. Happiness is within. It's handmade from the good earth with your two hands. No, I do believe that. I think, and I'm not the only person to think this, I've heard other people say it too. I think we all have a happiness baseline. If you think about it, I think everybody has a baseline where you can go through periods of time in your life where you are happier, or depending on just what's going on in your life, it can go up and down, but it just kind of comes back to whatever your baseline is. And I do think it's different for everybody. I think some people have a really high baseline. I mean, think about it. Have you ever known anybody that it seems like no matter what's going on in life, they can always find something to be positive about? And it's not fake, like they're not just putting on a show. I mean, like that's how they legitimately feel, to the point where sometimes they can even be a little obnoxious. It's like, why are you so fucking cheerful all the time? But that's just the way they are. It's just their nature. And then there are other people who it seems like no matter what's going on in their life, they can't find anything to be happy about. Like they could find the bad side of anything. And it's kind of like Eeyore, but not as endearing, oh, well, and my mom's like that. My mom has always sort of been the type to, it's like she just has a rain cloud over her head all the time. She could find the bad aspect of anything. She could win $1 million and immediately tell you 10 reasons why that's horrible. And she would just be well, isn't this great? Perfect. That's about right. No, I'll deal with it. Everything happens to me. I mean, that's just the way she's always been like that. She's been like that all my life. And I think I got on her nerves a lot when we were around each other throughout my life. We're not around each other anymore, but when we were around each other, I think she got annoyed with me because I woke up just wide open and I'm just going all the time. And I don't know. I don't look at the world the way she does. I don't think I do. I really don't think I do. I look at everything, especially bad times. I like to look at bad times and think, what can I learn from this? Because I think with every bad thing you go through, there is something you can learn. There is something you can get out of it. And I think that's the benefit of it. I mean, anybody who lives long enough is going to go through bad times. I don't care who you are. I don't care how beautiful you are, how rich you are, how famous you are. Everybody goes through bad shit. Whether you ever hear about it or not, people put out there on the internet, on social media, they put out what they want you to see. They may not put all the bad stuff on there, but everybody goes through bad stuff. the benefit of going through bad stuff is, well, it's inevitable. You can't stop it. You may be able to prevent some of it by your own choices, but things will happen. You will have death in your life, maybe poor health, catastrophes, freak accidents. I mean, anything can happen. You could be just driving along having a great day and get hit by a bus. Shit happens. It's just part of living. It's just part of being alive. Just bad shit happens. So can you learn anything from it? Can you get anything out of it? And that's up to you to figure out. I mean, other people are not always going to be there to hold your hand and tell you what you need to learn in life. You have to be able to discern that for yourself, and you can if you take time to think about it. I think the more you do it, the better you get, but you can find good things that you can take from even terrible things in your life. I didn't enjoy being in an abusive church. It wasn't exactly a lot of fun. I left there feeling like I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what was going on. You have all this residue in your mind of everything you've been told the entire time you're there, and it's always nagging you in the back of your mind, like, what if they were right? What if I am going to hell because I left this group? That's ridiculous, but what if it's not? So what I wanted to take from that was, what can I get out of this experience? Well, what I decided was I wanted to be able to help other people. I wanted to at least try to help other people. And that's what motivated me to write a book about it. And I wanted to at least provide some entertainment, maybe an interesting story to read or something. I got a comment on my story. I read it on my other channel. I just got this comment this evening, and they said it lacked substance. My story, it was mid-grade at best or something like that. Like, I'll give it a C. I mean, it's all right, but it doesn't really have any substance to it. It was just okay. I've never written a book, and I bet it's hard, but yours was just, it was okay. It wasn't anything great. Anyway, that is honestly, I think that's the first comment I've had like that. So I'll take it with a grain of salt. I don't think it lacked substance. I think there was plenty of substance there. It's like my baby. It's like, don't criticize my baby. How dare you? I spent almost 4.5 years creating that. You bastard. But what can I take from that? I'm too sensitive to criticism. I need to work on that. And I know I need to work on that. That is one of my biggest flaws, is that I am sensitive to criticism and I distract myself with my own tangents. I don't have anybody here to blame for the fact that I have now derailed this conversation, this monologue. I did it my damn self. But I just saw that comment right before I sat down, and it kind of stung a little bit, like, ow, lacks substance. The fuck kind of substance were you looking for, dude? Jesus. So he really liked the character Denali. Like, he was like a minor character at best, and apparently he really liked Denali. And I said, well, maybe you need to write a part 2, and then you can flesh it out and add some substance. How about that? I thought it sounded like a good idea. You can show me how it's done there, buckaroo. So, yes, I'm sorry. Squirrel. No. Happiness is in you. And where do you think your baseline would be? Because I really think everybody has a point, and it's different for everybody. Everybody has a point that they just kind of sit at, if it's just a normal day and you don't have anything crazy going on. Does it feel like your happiness kind of stays pretty stable? I mean, if you look at your life long term, if you look at yourself, all the way back to when you're a kid, does it feel like it's kind of, or do you think it has fluctuated over time? I think mine has always kind of been the same. I don't really know that mine has changed all that much. Of course, you go through good things, bad things. It can go up and down, but it always comes back to that point. So how do you find happiness? I think that's a question a lot of people have. How do I achieve happiness? Well, you can't buy it. I know money can't buy you happiness or whatever, and it's true. You can buy things that make you happy briefly, but I don't think you're going to find true happiness by shopping. I just don't think that's going to do it. And I have an opinion that a lot of people might not agree with. Other people can't make you happy. If you are solely dependent on one or more other people to make you happy, they will eventually fail you because it is not their job. It would be a full-time job to try to keep somebody happy. Another person cannot be in charge of your happiness. That's too much to ask of anybody. They can supplement your happiness, I think. I think being around them can make you feel happy. But if you don't feel happy unless they are making you happy, I don't think that's true happiness. I think it is temporary, fleeting pleasure or enjoyment, but I don't think it's true happiness. And it's unfair to expect another person to do that for you. I mean, are you doing that for them? Or do you think you are providing the same thing to them? Does your presence in their life give them true happiness, like the happiness that you're seeking from them? And if not, then is it really fair to expect that from them? If you aren't doing it for them, what obligates them to do it for you? I think if you aren't happy by yourself, another person isn't going to do it for you. You know, I've heard people say, "Oh, I'm single. You know, I'm so depressed. If I could just find a partner, then I'd be happy." And I don't know about that. I think you might be surprised. I think you might be disappointed. Well, I have a partner and I'm not really any happier. I mean, now that the honeymoon phase is over and, we're settling into a relationship, I'm not really any happier than I was before. I have somebody here now and that's great, but, I don't really know that I'm any happier. I think one thing that can bring people happiness, okay, I think it has to do with you. I think it has to do with how you feel about yourself, how satisfied you are with yourself as a person, not necessarily like your accomplishments or anything, but how do you feel inside as a person? I don't really know the best way to explain it, but I think a lot of people, when they say they're unhappy, especially these days, I think this is just my opinion. I'm just some goober on the internet, like I've said. I am no expert in anything. But I think a lot of people, when they say they're unhappy, I don't know if they are unhappy or if they're just unfulfilled, or they're not reaching some part of their potential. Like they have this potential that they are just not tapping into. They're not doing with their life what they feel like they should be doing, if that makes any sense. Like they don't feel like they really have a purpose in life. They don't have a goal. They're just kind of floating through the world, and I think a lot of young people feel that way. In previous generations, and I talked about this briefly in another video, in previous generations, like you think about your parents or your grandparents or your great-grandparents, depending on how old you are, say what you want to about it, but everybody had a pretty clear-cut purpose. You may not like it, but you knew how your life was going to go. You knew what you had to do. Everything wasn't flung wide open. Like if I think about like my dad, what my dad wanted for me. Finish school if you want to. School education doesn't matter. Get a job in a mill. Marry a good man. Have some kids. Go to church. And do that until you die. I mean, that's your life. That's your goal. That's your purpose. That's why you're on earth. You are on earth to do these things. And I think in a way, and I know not everybody's going to agree with it, but I just have to wonder, with everything we have now and everything we can do in life, overall, I'm not talking about anecdotal examples. Do you think people now are happier than people, say, 100 years ago, 200 years ago? Do you think people are happier now, or do you think they were happier then? Were they more satisfied with their lives or less satisfied compared to people today? I would say for me, I mean, if you're just talking about average people, I'm not talking about, again, not specific people. I'm talking about just people, human beings. I would venture to guess that people today are more depressed, they're more anxious, they are more despondent, and they are less happy than people a few generations ago. We live in an age of decadence. We live in an age of instant gratification. Don't have to really put in any work. The slightest bit of effort is rewarded. You are celebrated for mediocrity. Nothing is really all that special anymore. There's really a lot of people feel no compulsion to really excel at anything. You will be celebrated for things that just don't make any sense. I don't know how to explain it, but it just seems like there's just no direction for a lot of people. And so when they think about their future, it just looks like a void. It's just like, I don't know. What am I going to be doing 20 years from now, 40 years from now? What am I going to be doing? I don't know. I can't afford to live on my own. I can't afford this. I can't afford that. Well, that was true for people 100 years ago as well. It was. Not many single people could afford to live on their own. A lot of them lived with their parents until they got married. And then, more people got married back then, but that is not a thing that is unique to this present time. That pretty much sums up the life of human beings forever. So, do you think that affects people's happiness? Given that it's like seems to be the default state for human beings over time. I don't know. I think it does affect people's, when you combine it all together, when you have this lack of direction, this lack of purpose, it's just like everybody's just floating around. It's like there's just no direction here. People feel like they don't know what to do. They're waiting for someone to tell them what to do because they've lived their entire lives with people telling them what to do, and then they reach a certain age and nobody's telling them what to do anymore, and they were never taught to think for themselves or take care of themselves or be independent in any way. So now they don't know, what do I do? I've just been flung out here into adulthood. I don't know what to do with it. I could see how that would be very depressing and very scary. Oh God. And that's one thing I'm grateful for, to have grown up in Generation X, because we were just left to our own devices a lot. A lot of us were. Helicopter parents existed, but they were weird. I mean, they were considered weird back then. It was not the norm for parents to just do everything for you. You were left on your own a lot, probably a lot more than we should have been. But you learn to be independent. You learn how to cook. You learn how to do chores. You learn how to take care of yourself. You learn to handle stuff because there's no adult there to do it. So you just got to do it. And that helped me a lot when I got out on my own. I was out on my own at 17. I graduated high school at 17, was still 17 when I got to college. I was on my own and I was fine with it. I was never scared. I was never homesick. Hell, I was happy to be out of my house. Of course, my home life was not great. I was happy to get the hell out. And I picked a college as far away as possible without falling off into the Atlantic Ocean to get as far away as I could. I can say that now. I never felt comfortable saying that before, but that's exactly one reason why I went to school on the coast, because I wanted to get as far away as possible without being an out-of-state student and having to pay out-of-state tuition. I was so happy to be away. Man, I looked forward to my independence, but I think a lot of young people today are terrified of independence because they've never experienced it. They don't know what to do with it. And I think a lot of people have trouble finding happiness because it's like a combination of a lot of things that we have in the world today, and it's just a cumulative effect where it's hard to feel like you have a place in this world. Like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know. Do I have a purpose? I don't know. What am I? What am I going to do? What am I going to be? I don't know. And I think a lot of people just stay stuck there and they never figure it out. And they are just depressed and their life just sort of stalls out. And I don't really know what to tell people like that. I don't know. I have no advice for that. I really don't. I do think if you want to be happy, you do need a purpose in life. I do. I think you need a reason to get out of bed in the morning. And I can tell you, for me, my kids do that for me. My pets do that for me. Like, I can't lay in the bed all day. I have people and pets that need me. I got to get my ass up. And even when I don't want to get up, I know I have to do it anyway. And I do. I am tired. I am depressed because I have dealt with depression and anxiety ever since I was a little bitty child. I've dealt with it all my life. You just got to do it anyway. You got to do it anyway. You get up and you do it. You may be like a zombie all day, but you do it. And it keeps me going. And the fact that I can keep going makes me feel better about myself. And it does. It makes me feel better about me. But if you want to find happiness, you're not going to find it in a store. You're not going to find it online. You're going to have to find it in yourself. And I do think a big part of finding it in yourself is having a reason to be here. You need something. You need something. You need a purpose in life. I think everybody does. Whatever that is to you. Whether it's your job, I would advise having more than just your job. Because one day, hopefully, you'll be able to retire, and I would hate to see it happen. I worked with attorneys like this, like their job was their whole life, and then they were basically forced to retire. They didn't want to retire, but they just physically couldn't work anymore. And a couple of them in particular that I knew, that I worked with, had passed away within a year of retirement. They just went home and died. I mean, their job was just their whole life, to the point where if they had no job to go to, they just withered away. And I would hate to see that happen to anybody. You could try different hobbies. There are all kinds of groups that you could join. You could meet people. You could do things. If there's anything you like, you could work on that. Like, if you ever wanted to learn how to roller skate, you could learn how to roller skate. Shit, you could join a roller derby team or group. I don't know what it's called. They have a name, I'm sure. There's a big roller derby culture here in Greensboro, and they're very serious about it. Let me tell you, they are very serious about their roller derby. It's pretty great to watch, though. It's awesome. But happiness is going to be something that you are going to have to figure out. Nobody is going to come along and tell you the answers. Sometimes in life, you're just going to have to figure it out for yourself. I don't know what it is for you. I don't know what it will be for you. For me, a big source of my happiness comes from little stuff, little stupid stuff. Like yesterday, I woke up yesterday morning and I was cold. I refused to turn the heat on. I'm sorry. It's September. It's quite chilly here in the mornings lately. And I woke up and I was cold. I thought, oh God, ugh. I thought, you know what? I may put my flannel sheets on my bed a little early this year. So I stripped everything off my bed, washed everything, put it away, and I got out my big, thick velvet plush. I got it at Aldi. It's this beautiful dark blue velvet blanket, and it's really thick, and it has this nice thick filling in it. It's so warm and it's so soft. And I got my flannel sheets out, put them on my bed, and just like I could see my bed from here. Just looking at that just makes me happy because it's so warm and it's so cozy, and it just makes me so happy to get in it. It feels so nice. And I wake up all snug. The hard part is I don't want to get out of bed because it's just so warm. It's like sleeping inside of a hug, inside of a cloud. It's just so, it's beautiful. I love it. I love being able to walk outside and the humidity is gone, and the sky is clear and blue and beautiful, and there are geese flying over. And it just makes me so happy. It's just, And in summertime, same thing. The first time I go outside and it's warm enough to just have on like a t-shirt and some shorts. Yes, it's so great after being so cold for so long, and the days are getting longer, and you can do cookouts, and Oh my God, man, I love, there are things I love about every season. Wintertime, you get that first little snow and it's so beautiful. And I always go out and take pictures, even though I have a bajillion pictures of the snow. I go out and take more because it just makes me happy. There's always something. There's always some little stupid thing that just makes me happy. And I think it has to do with the way you interpret the things in your world. Because my mom can find something bad about every season. My mom hates every season. She hates every holiday. She hates every day of the week. She hates everything. My mom hates everything. And she looks at everything through this negative lens. Like everything is awful. Boop is out there yelling at me. Maybe I should let her in. Hang on a minute. Now this cat right here is the epitome of happiness. She's just happy to be here. So happy to be here. Don't eat my dress. It just coming in this room makes her happy. She's so happy to be in here. I'm so happy to be here. I feel happy to be here. She's just happy to be here. What? So, ow! She bit me. Oh, boop. She bit me. We keep a little dry erase. We keep a little dry erase board downstairs, and we keep on there the number of days it's been since Boop bit anybody. It had been almost 4 days. Ow! Sorry, she bit my finger. It had been almost 4 days since she bit anybody. She's now bitten me twice. She gets overstimulated and she does the little love bites. That was a hard bite. Like being attacked by a stapler. I got swing lined. So she's bumping the tripod. She can't get over herself. She's just so happy to be in here. Okay, stop walking around. She's very happy. So what kind of lens do you think you have when you look at things in the world? Do you think you have more of a positive lens? Or she bit me again. She bit my toe. Stop it. Do you have more of a positive lens or more of a negative lens? I think I tend to have more of a positive one, but it can't be put on. I mean, like, is that how you really feel? Or do you just act that way? She's burrowing under my bath mat. Okay, kitty. This is the most intense cat I have ever had in my life. Oh my God, stop. I've never had a cat just as intense as this cat. She's just... Okay, lay down. That's a good girl. She's just very intense. If you want to be happy, I think I've already said this, but if you want to be happy, you're going to have to just find it for yourself. You're going to have to find your happiness. And it could be as simple as finding something that makes your life seem worthwhile. Whatever that means to you. I don't know what it would mean. One of my New Year's resolutions this year was to pick up trash, and I've picked up a lot of trash this year. And so if I'm walking into a store and I see some trash in the parking lot, if it's nothing gross, I don't pick up anything gross, but if I see a piece of trash, like a piece of paper or a plastic bag or whatever, I'll just pick it up and put it in the trash can. There's always a trash can right by the door. I'll just I'm walking, I'm not even going out of my way, I will put it in the trash when I get up to the door. And I've done that hundreds of times over the last 9 months. If I'm out for a walk and I see trash, I'll just pick it up and hold on to it until I get to a trash can. It's just become a habit for me. And I was kind of thinking about, I went to this store not too long ago, and there was tons of trash there was a bank up on the the side of the parking lot. I thought about going out there and cleaning up trash. Like, it wouldn't take me 10 minutes to go out there with a trash bag and get all that trash up. It's just sitting there. I think what happens is the street sweeper, they have these sweepers that come through and clean the parking lots periodically. And it looks like they've just been shoveling all the trash up onto this bank and leaving it there. I thought I could go out there with a trash bag and get that up in 10 minutes. I would put on some gloves. I mean, I have plenty of gloves, like rubber gloves I could wear or whatever. just doing a little something like that would make me feel good. I think it would be a good use of some free time to just go do something like that. I don't know. But nobody is going to come along and tell you what it takes to make you happy, because it's different for everybody. I could say though, for me, this is ouch! Stop it! She bit my toe. This is the happiest I've ever been as far as being the most satisfied with my life. This period of time right now, I think, is the best it's ever been. And this is coming from someone who did think about ending her own life just over 20 years ago. Let's see. About 22 years ago. Yeah. I'm so glad I didn't. So if you feel like your life is not worth living at this point, don't give up. Don't. I'm so glad I didn't, because my life now is nothing like it was then. It is unrecognizable now. And it's better than I ever could have imagined it would be. And it's not a man making me happy. It's not stuff making me happy. It's just, I don't know. It's just the way I look at things, I guess. There is beauty all around you. There is so much beauty in the world. It is all around you all the time. It's there. Some people just have to learn how to see it. It is beautiful. We do live in a beautiful world. I know it's not all beautiful. There's trash in the damn parking lot, and there are nasty people. There will always be nasty people. There will always be mean, rude, yucky people. They're just shitty people. There will always be shitty people. There have always been shitty people. That's not going to change. And you can't let shitty people ruin your life. You can't let them determine how you feel. You are the one who determines that. Isn't that right, Boob? Kitty, come here. Hey. She's so happy. She just comes in here. She's so happy. I'll get in the tub. She is just so happy. She's the happiest, most destructive cat. Stop! Stop! Oh, damn it. If you want to be happy, you can be happy. You can. You may not achieve it in 5 minutes, but you can be happy. Maybe it just takes learning to see the world a different way. I don't even know if everybody is capable of seeing the world in a different way, but you can try. You can try. Look around you and... My God, cat. She's snuffling the bath mat. Now she's over there, snuffling my dirty clothes. There is a lot of beauty. There's a lot of great stuff in the world. And there are a lot of just hilarious things in the world. Lots of funny things. The other day, my older son came in my room, and Pumpkin was on the bed. And he said, have you ever really looked at her face? He said, if you look at her face, it looks like, in the Looney Tunes cartoons when they would have the, Coyote and Roadrunner, if they had the round little bomb and it would explode, and it didn't really hurt. It seemed like it didn't hurt anything. It just, left their face all black. He said Pumpkin looks like somebody lit one of those cartoon bombs right in front of her face, because it's just, right here. And for some reason, that just struck me as funny. So now every time I look at her, I think about that little cartoon bomb. You can't get up there. That's not a shelf. She's trying to get up on top of my medicine cabinet. You can't get up there no, you can't get up there. There's no way to get there from here. You can't levitate. She's bored. She's bored. And I think one problem with a lot of people today is boredom. I think it is flat out boredom. Life, for the most part, is uneventful and boring. My younger son is outside having a Nerf war with the kids down the street, and heard them screaming. They're running up and down the street. One of them is on a little scooter, and anyway, it's a whole thing. Just making sure it didn't sound like anybody was in distress. I think they're fine. Life is boring. Life is boring, so we go looking for excitement. And I think that's what drives a lot of us to the internet. We look for excitement. We look for input, stimulation, whatever it is. We're looking to the internet to fill those spaces in our lives because life is kind of boring. We don't have any predators. We don't have to run from anything trying to kill us, usually. We don't have to hunt for food. We don't have to wash our clothes in a great big pot or down by the riverside. I mean, we have a lot of free time, whether we believe it or not. We have way more free time than humans have ever had. We have a lot of free time. God almighty. Life is kind of boring. So we go looking for excitement. But I don't know that that's really going to be very fulfilling. So I would just recommend trying to see what's beautiful in your world, in your life. There's a lot of beauty in your life. If you can see it, it's there. You have a lot of beautiful things in your life. It's all around you every day. And don't chew on my wreath. No. See, when Boop gets bored, she comes in here and gets destructive, and then I have to put her back outside. Nope, she's trying to climb my wreath. Hang on. Sorry, I go through that pretty much every time she comes in here in the evenings. She just becomes destructive, and she just starts chewing on random things until I put her out and shut the door. Beauty. You have beauty all around you. Learn to see how beautiful your world really is and how beautiful you are. You are beautiful too, and you are a wonderful person. We're all unique, and you roll your eyes at me. I don't care. We are all unique. There is nobody on this planet. There's never been anybody like you. There will never be anybody like you ever again. You are the only one. Think about that. Out of billions of people, there's only one of you. And you can do things and you know things nobody else does. And that makes you really cool. That makes you really cool. And I guarantee you there is something that you can do that is really cool. And you could hone that, you could work on that, you could, expand on that somehow, whatever it is, whether you're a good cook, you're a good artist, you sing really well, maybe you're a great skater. I'm very jealous because I always wanted to learn to roller skate, but I worry about my ankles at this stage of my life. I don't know if my ankles could tolerate. I actually hurt my foot in a class yesterday because I'm ridiculous, but we were doing tuck jumps and I came down a little weird one of the times, and I think I screwed my foot up. Be careful doing stuff like that. There's a lot of great stuff about you. And you should be proud of yourself, and you should appreciate how neat you are. You're so neat. And you could appreciate that about yourself. If you could see just how great you are. Beauty, appreciation. There's a lot of happiness there. There is. I love being on planet Earth. I really do. I love being here. I think it's awesome. One of my unofficial bucket list items was to do a past life regression hypnosis session, which I actually did like 2 summers ago. I don't really know that any of the stuff I said is true, but I talked nonstop for 2 hours and 20 minutes while I was under hypnosis, and I had a lot to say. And if what I said was true, and again, I don't know that there's any truth to any of it. It may all just be bullshit. It probably is. But according to what I said, I have been here many times. I've lived multiple lives on this planet, learning different things. And we all come here to learn stuff. And I came here to find my voice. That's what I said under hypnosis. I came here to find my voice and to learn to speak up and to learn when to be quiet. You have to learn when the time is to speak out and have your voice heard, and when it's time to be silent. That's what I said. I came here to learn. I don't know if I've learned it or not, but I've certainly had plenty of scenarios where I had an opportunity to learn about that. I don't know if I passed the test or not. I don't know. Maybe when I die, I'll find out if any of that was true or not. I'm very curious. But I think it's great being here. I think it is. I'm not saying it's perfect. It's like the best house in a bad neighborhood. It's got some great stuff about it. Yeah, it's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect because humans live here. Animals live here. Nothing is ever going to be perfect as long as you have people populating the earth. It's never going to be perfect. There's always going to be something that can be improved upon. That's okay because it gives us something to do. And I do think people need something to do. We don't have enough meaningful shit to do. We just don't. Find meaning and purpose in your life, whatever that is for you, and learn to appreciate the little things, just the little blessings in your life, the little good things, whatever that looks like to you. I am so grateful and so thankful for the life that I have, and I realize I've got it good. I mean, if I had been born anywhere else, at really any other time, I would have never had a shot at the life I have now. And I fully appreciate that. I do. I know. And I'm very grateful for it. And we all have something to be grateful for. We all have something that we can be grateful for. And I think gratitude and humility, being humble, I think has a lot to do with happiness. I really do. Do you know anybody who is really cocky that you would say is happy? I mean, truly happy. Cocky people come across to me as some of the saddest people I've ever seen. They really do. If that mask slips for a minute and you get a look at who they really are, they seem kind of miserable to me, honestly. They put on a good front, but they can't hold it up all the time. And if you watch them long enough, you see kind of behind that and you see what they're really like, and they seem desperately unhappy most of the time. I don't want to be like that, So gratitude, stay humble, stay busy. That's another thing. Stay busy. Have a reason to get up in the morning. And if you feel like you don't have a reason to get up in the morning, look for a reason to get up. Get involved in something, Look for a reason to get up. I know if it's like where I live, and I'm not saying this is the answer to your problem, but the animal shelters around here are bursting at the seams with dogs and cats who desperately need homes. I have 3.5 cats, actually 4 cats, because I now have another neighborhood cat that is hanging out and eating in my backyard. So I have 2 half cats and 3 whole cats. And yeah, maybe you could be a foster for some shelter animals. You could just foster some animals. I know not everybody can do that, but if your area is like mine, they could really use fosters because our shelter is full. They have over 500 dogs and cats right now, and they have room for no more. They are begging people to foster and adopt. So that, I'm just saying, that's just one thing you could do. The food pantries around here, food banks, are desperate for volunteers, donations. There are so many things that you could do right now to help somebody else out there. You could use your time. You could donate items, food. There's so many things that you could do. You could go to the park and pick up trash. I may do that later. I want to do more trash pickup. I really do. Just unofficial. I'm just going to go out there with a bag and pick it up because obviously nobody else is going to do it, and it bugs the hell out of me. The Aldi parking lot is always full of trash. I'm constantly picking up trash in the Aldi parking lot. My God, it's so annoying. There are tons of things, what I'm saying. I don't mean to derail myself, but there are tons of things that you can do. And again, I don't think happiness is hard. Happiness is tough. And you're not always going to feel happy. That's another myth I think a lot of people believe. They seem to think that there's some finish line off in the distance. Like, if I can just get there, then I'll be happy. If I can just get this promotion at work, then I'll be happy. If I can get married, then I'll be happy. If I can get this car or this house, then I'll be happy. It doesn't work like that. It's not like you're just going to get to some point and whoo, after I cross that finish line, well, it's all over now. And then we lived happily ever after. No, it doesn't. Happiness is something that you have to work to maintain. And it's elusive. and it's not going to be wonderful all the time. You're not going to be happy every day. I'm not happy every day. But overall, I know there is always hope. There's always a reason to feel positive and good about things. There's always a reason to have hope. You know, yeah, it's a shitty day. This thing happened and it really bothered me. Yeah, I know. But you'll get past it. You will deal with it, and tomorrow is another day. It's going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. I'm telling you that right now. It's all going to be okay. It may not feel that way right now, but it's going to be all right. Just hang in there. Try to find the beauty in your world. And just remember how awesome you are, because you are awesome. I know you're awesome. If nobody has told you that today, I will tell you you're awesome. And I wish you all the best. I wish you all the happiness that's out there for you. And I really hope that you can get there and find it and work to maintain it as much as possible every day. So thank you so much for being here. I really hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon.